Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Helen Victoria Piper, a coach dedicated to guiding entrepreneurs and creators in discovering and growing their unique business niche. Helen's expertise lies in helping individuals stand out by refining their message, building authentic brands, and navigating the challenges of digital entrepreneurship. Through her thoughtful content and hands-on coaching, she empowers a new generation of business leaders to maximize their impact in a crowded online world. Helen, a very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I do like to start from the beginning. Before you started coaching, what were you doing and what was really your driver to get into coaching?
Okay, going back to the beginning, I've never really found anything that I've been passionate about apart from helping people. So I've done a variety of different jobs. The last job that I was doing for 10 years before going into coaching was working for the NHS. So I was an administrator, just helping people get in for their appointments and things like that. So I felt like I was helping people, but it still wasn't quite enough. And then I just happened to come across a advert for coaching and it grabbed my attention and I could not let it go. It really called to me and I am so passionate about coaching since discovering it. It's so helpful for people, it's so positive. It really helps drive people forward and it's something that I want to spread the message and get people to be more aware of coaching. But I also want to help coaches succeed. As soon as I discovered coaching, I got very passionate about it, did quite a few different courses in different methods of coaching. So holistic coaching, normal life coaching, and a bit of hypnotherapy and things as well. So dived all in and I've picked little bits from each of those that I feel is really helpful to then focus on niche coaching.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. Could you walk us in depth into what you're currently doing? What does working with Helen right now look like?
So at the moment, I went through quite a lot of niches on settling on this one. I think I'm probably in double figures for how many times I changed my niche because it's difficult, right? I think it's something that a lot of coaches struggle with. I think the messaging out there is quite generic. It's find your client avatar, know who you're talking to, and that's it. What have you been through? What can you help people through? But I think there's so much more to it. There's a lot more layers to it. There's a lot more factors that need to be considered. So as I was going through this journey myself, I took some time out actually. I decided to take a bit of a step back and regroup and look at everything. And what I've done is I've started to work now on a 4 to 6 week package for coaches. So depending on whether it's a brand new coach who's got no idea about their niche whatsoever, or whether it's a coach that is already out there but maybe needs to refine their message more, depending on where they are in that kind of part of their journey as to whether it would be a 4 week package or a 6 week package.
Okay.
And what I really like to focus on is finding where their blocks are, finding where their passions are. I use a bit of hypnotherapy to help clear their minds so that when they are working on their business, the subconscious mind will kick in and help them really focus and listen to their gut feelings. Because I think, as with coaching in general, we have the answers within us. And it's just uncovering those and blocking out the noise to get those answers to come forward. So
Mm.
I think hypnotherapy can be a really complementary way, not just to help with niche, but just your business in general and having that clarity about where you go to move forward. I do spend a bit of time with hypnotherapy with my clients. And then another big part of it is timeline. I think that is vital for getting out like almost like a whole business plan. So when you start, you've got all these ideas and all these different things going on in your head, and it can feel quite crowded in your mind and quite overwhelming. So I think for me, I found it really helpful to find a journey, which was niche coaching, and plot all the different stages that you go through when trying to find your niche. So that would be from the very beginning when you don't know where to start at all. What have I got experience with? Right up to I've found a subject that I'm passionate about. Now, where do I want to take that? How do I want to run with that? Then by having that, you can then break that down even further to what stages do people go through with that. And this can apply to any sort of form of coaching. You break down those other smaller parts, and that can help you then identify what is useful as content for putting out on your social medias, what could be something that you use going forward to maybe make other products. So whether that's like online courses or workbooks or journals or anything like that. And it just helps you develop everything and get it out of your head. And for me, I'm old school, onto paper. I'm sure there's people out there that would love to do it on the computer, but I'm not quite that tech savvy. So I get it all out of your brain and onto paper so that all these amazing ideas that you've got, they're there, they're down. You can come back to them and you can get them out at the right time, but you haven't got this kind of overwhelming feeling of, oh, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. Because then I think that's when we can become a bit lost in the message that we're trying to put out, and it all becomes so clustered in your brain that you just lose your way a little bit, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That makes so much sense. This may be a general question and it may differ
Yeah.
for coaches, but I am curious. You help people really honing in on their niche. How important is it to really define a very, not a broad niche, but a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? A very tight niche. Hey,
Yeah.
say, I like fitness. I want to help men lose weight. Is that enough? Or do we really need to dive into, hey, I want to help men between the ages of 20, 30, drop 20 pounds and whatever? How important is that?
This is a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think a lot of coaches feel that if they niche down too much, then they're going to shut a lot of people out. But
Mm,
actually, if it's too general, people don't know you're speaking to them. So to take that example, I'm going to help men get fitter. Okay, I'm I'm already exercising. Are you going to help me refine that even more and get like a really solid plan? Or I'm sitting on the couch every day. Are you going to get me off the couch and up and moving? A very basic way of putting it, but people won't know. And what you'll find is even if you refine down, and I've certainly experienced it, you can put your I help statement out there. Is a lot of things that people obviously use, that coaches use at the moment. You can put your I help statement out there, but your content will also be what speaks to people. And if something resonates with them, they will contact you anyway. So
mm,
you may have somebody that's slightly outside of your niche come to you because they've seen something that's spoken to them. So it's good to have the clarity around it so that people scrolling through will stop and pay attention. But at the same time, there will be others that filter through. So it's not something to be scared of, like a lot I was. When I first started, I just wanted to be a life coach and I help people with life. But what does that really mean? People don't understand that. And so that was something I had to get my head around too. But I think the more that you can be focused and specific on what you're doing, the more people will understand what it is you're offering. I think a lot of us end up getting into that kind of coaching frame of mind where we know what we mean, but that doesn't necessarily mean the people that we're trying to reach will understand what we're saying. So we really want
mm.
to make it clear to people that, yes, I'm talking to you, and really get them to stop in their tracks and pay attention, sit up and pay attention.
Absolutely. It sounds like it's a balancing act. You don't want to be too narrow, but then again, can't just say, hey, I'm a life coach.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Okay.
Yeah.
That
I
makes so
think
much sense.
yeah, and I think once you know your audience, you'll hit on a specific pain that people will really understand then. So, like for my niche, I help overwhelmed coaches nail their niche so they can focus on moving forward with their business. So, coaches will know by reading that, yes, I'm overwhelmed with my niche. I don't know whether I want to do this one, that one, or a completely different one. So it's about just showing that you've got that understanding. So it might be something completely different. It might be helping burnt out medical health professionals find some time to relax and gain inner peace, or but it's got to be about refining that message to identifying the specific pain that those people are looking to fix.
Not easy to do, but it sounds like it is possible.
Yeah, not easy, but if you've been there, if you've got some experience with it, that's where you draw in on your personal story. So if you've been through a specific situation, you can go back to how you felt in that time, and what was it I was looking to fix? How was I feeling in that time? And
Mm.
then if you can identify what you really wanted to resolve, chances are there's going to be a lot of people out there that are looking to resolve exactly the same thing.
There you go. So good. Pivoting towards looking at the back end of the business.
Yeah.
Excuse me. How are these coaches currently finding you to work with you?
So mainly at the moment on social media, I'm finding LinkedIn has been very productive for me personally because I am more business focused. But I do think for reaching out and getting your message out there, you need like a bit of a mix of everything. Do you think content is a big part of it? Because a lot of people, especially nowadays, will hear of you and go straight to social media to check you are who you say you are and see what kind of message you're putting out there. Having regular content and keeping that updated, I think, is very important for partly reaching out to people. That will be a way that some people can come into your world, but also as a kind of tick, like to say, okay, they are who they say they are.
Mm.
I think networking is a big part of it. We do live in a day and an age where I think a lot of us are looking around, and there's so many different scams and different things like that going on that it becomes really difficult to know who you can trust online. So I think if you can get in with somebody that you can network from and they can endorse you, that can really help, because it's just then somebody saying this is who they say they are and they really are good at what they're doing. So
Mm.
I think there's a bit of a mix: your marketing, your content, your networking. You need a nice little recipe
Yeah.
to
A
get
little
it
bit of
all.
everything in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Organic content is such a good way to go. You're able to build that connection with them over time. And when they come to you, they know you.
Yeah.
It's that works so well. We have so many coaches on the pod, and obviously you work with so many, and they say the same thing. Organic is so good. I do want to ask though, some people find that a little inconsistent. Sometimes some coaches will say, I just don't really know when the next person is coming. Whether I put out a great YouTube video or a great Instagram post, I don't really know how many people are going to come from that. Have you yourself or any of your clients, have they ever gone the paid advertising route, maybe on Facebook or Instagram? Have they seen success from that, or maybe yourself?
Yeah, some people have used the Instagram adverts because the reels and things, I think they reach out further. I know the algorithms change on a regular basis. But more recently, yeah, there's some people that I know and I have within my world that have used Instagram. They up their amount for advertising, and then as soon as they fill up again, they just duck it down so that they're not putting as many adverts out. And so they tend to just rely on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
adverts. Social media is a great way to go because you can extend your reach, especially with something like TikTok. But I also think that it depends on the message you're trying to put out there. So I've had some clients that are working with maybe quite sensitive subjects around maybe being not being able to have children and things like that, where it's quite a sensitive subject. And that kind of audience, it's different. They're not going to be looking necessarily for a quick video on TikTok to resolve that. So I think social media is a huge part of it. As difficult as it can be to keep regular and keep posting, it's really important. But I also think when you know your audience, you'll understand that you won't necessarily get as many leads if it's a sensitive subject, because people aren't going to want to see share that they're necessarily following some of these more sensitive areas of coaching. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's just a lovely way for people to see your face, get to know who you are, how you talk, see how genuine you are, see how passionate you are. That doesn't always come across on a written post or anything.
Yeah.
So platforms like this are brilliant, and especially on YouTube where people are looking to find a specific answer to a specific problem. YouTube's fantastic for that, isn't it? And you've got those chances to do those longer videos and things that people can really dive deep and look for the support that they need. Yeah, I think again, it's that mix. It depends on who you're working with. It will help definitely. And like I say, I know people that use it on a regular basis to fill up, and then they just reduce how much they put into their advertising until
Mm.
they need to again. But there will be some cases where maybe they need to explore different avenues depending on the subject.
So agreed. We had a divorce coach on the podcast yesterday, and
Right.
she said the same thing. She goes, for something as sensitive as this, advertising just not does not work. You need the organic to build that warmth over time because it's such a sensitive subject. So you hit it on the nail there. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
There you go. When someone does come across your content and they want to work with you, walk us through that process. How do they go from lead to client with Helen?
I've tried a variety of different things actually with my niches, the many that I've done. Currently, I've got a workbook. So it's just a low cost, low value workbook that will help people start working on their timeline to nail their niche. So they can log in to get that, just pay a small amount of money, and then I get their contact details and I can follow up with them. So I think it's really nice sometimes to put a bit of value out there that
Mm,
people, especially in the early days when people don't really know who you are, what you can do to help them. If you can put something free or low ticket out there, it's not a big cost for somebody to get that, whatever it is. And then you can nurture them further through the process. So as long as you're getting like an email address so that you can contact them afterwards, you can put that through, make sure you've got follow-ups. You can ask them, what did you think of it? I'd love some feedback. Is there anything you're stuck on? What was your biggest takeaway? And then they can hopefully reply to that. Once you get the response, you can then start really building on that relationship. I think otherwise it would be a case of, again, networking. Or there's also the approach of maybe people that are interacting with your content on social media. So if somebody's commented, especially if they've made quite a meaningful comment, so not just a, oh, love this, but somebody who's gone like, this really spoke to me, like I'm going through that at the moment, you can always just pop them a little message or a voice note and just say, I'm sorry you're going through that at the moment. If there's anything I can do to help, just drop me a message. I'd love to chat. I'm always here to support.
mhm,
It's just a way of showing that you care. I think so many coaches out there are so passionate about what they're doing and they choose their niche for a really personal reason. And so anyone that's going through very similar circumstances, all of us have that place in our heart where we just want to help them get through it. And
mhm.
so I think, especially with a voice note, you can send that through. People can hear in your voice that you're genuine and you just want to help. You can be honest and say, look, I'm not looking for any money. I'm just want to make sure you know that I'm here for you and reach out because it's all about nurturing until you reach a point where lots of people know who you are, you've got quite a following and you've scaled up. It's about getting those people to trust you, like you, and want to be part of your world. So there's a lot of that nurturing side, I think, in the early
Mm.
stages that needs to be done.
Absolutely. Such a natural and organic process.
Yeah,
That is some very good nurturing that you're doing there.
yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah, I mean,
good.
it takes time. It's worth it in the long run for supporting people and bring them into your world. And once they've worked with you, word of mouth is absolutely priceless. As soon as
Mhm.
people have experienced what you can offer, as soon as they hear of somebody else that needs help, you're the person they're going to talk about.
Yeah, no doubt. That is the strongest marketing you could do anytime.
Yeah.
So good. Helen, thank you so much for your time today. Lovely having you on the podcast. Where can the listeners find you? Where can they connect with you online?
So online, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I've got my website address, and I'm on LinkedIn. So any of those, just drop me a message. I'm very open. I know some people struggle with just jumping on the phone and making a phone call or anything or a video call. If anybody's interested, they can just drop me a message and we can email or however to chat and build it up from there. So yeah, whatever they're comfortable with, really.
Wonderful. And social media, it's Helen Victoria Piper.
It is, yeah,
The
or the
name
niche
is
coach. So either
the niche
one.
coach.
Yeah,
Okay. And then what was the website?
it's www.helenpiper.com.
HelenPiper.com. Helen, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of The Founder's Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go to Helen's website that she just said, that was helenpiper.com, and connect with her on social media at Helen Victoria Piper. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.